Hello, everybody. Deirdre Waterson here from Ignite Yourself. Trust you're all well and happy and things are going along really nicely for you. Today's podcast is the 12 reasons you're not burning fat the way you would like to. Now, before we get into the 12 reasons why you're not burning fat, I want to share with you what actually happens to fat. So your lungs are the primary way for your body to excrete fat. How fat actually gets burnt is primarily disposed via your breath. Calories, as well as excess carbs and proteins, are converted into triglycerides and stored in lipid droplets. Excess dietary fat then converts, and it is triglycerides, the short-chain fatty acids, are composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The oxidation requires an inhalation of oxygen. When someone loses weight, you're breathing out carbon dioxide and excreting carbons from your body. Quite interesting, really, isn't it? So 24 grams of water is excreted via your urine, your sweat, your feces, but 61 grams of carbon dioxide is excreted through the lungs, and the average of 17,000 breaths per day will excrete 32 grams of carbon. So when you're thinking of fat loss, you're thinking of carbon loss, and your sources of carbon putting back in are dietary carbs, proteins, and fats. So what that means is losing fat means consuming less carbons than you exhaled. So even small quantities of foods can upset your effort of weight loss. The simple solution is to move more and eat less. Therefore, by substituting 1 hour of rest a day, you'll increase sevenfold the carbons being exhaled, which is an increase of 20%. 20% increase with just 1 hour of not resting and moving your body. You can go to the gym, you can go for a walk, you can ride a bike, go swimming, whatever it is that really excites you for moving. So, 20% increase is well worth it. The problem is when we eat something, say, like a small muffin, you've increased your carbon intake by 20%. So watching the foods that you're using in your body as a source of energy and nutrition, then the problem is that we could be eating more than we're actually moving. So knowing that, before I go into the 12 reasons you're not burning fat, is just laying down the foundations of growing up through these other reasons that are creating a problem. So the number one reason is chronic inflammation. And I guess many of you know that I have autoimmune disease that I put into remission, but inflammation, I was working in the industry, the fitness industry, as a personal trainer, kept putting on weight and swelling up and couldn't work out why. I was training really hard, and the harder I trained, the more I seemed to swell. And I definitely had chronic inflammation. My disease is rheumatoid arthritis, and inflammation is chronic. There was no way I was going to burn body fat. So chronic inflammation is something that you really need to get rid of, because it will prevent the fat cells from going away. And no, not all inflammation is bad. When we exercise, we create inflammation. However, that has an ability to heal and repair, and then you can lose weight. So high levels of inflammation impact your growth act or beta and cause irregular appetite and glucose regulation. Obesity is associated with chronic inflammation. Now, things that can cause inflammation in your body other than an autoimmune disease is rancid oils. They're the worst thing to put in your body. Those seed oils like peanut oil, canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, you can replace that with olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, and start to reduce your inflammation. And many of you know that I have a 12-week gut health program that just will get rid of inflammation out of your body. Many of us are walking around with inflammation and don't actually know, and you can have this tested by getting your blood works tested. So the number 2 reason that we can't lose weight is sugar. Sugar is causing inflammation in our body. Processed foods and sugar, it's more quickly metabolized than things like vegetable oil, but vegetable oil is far worse. So you need to look at what sugars you're putting in your body, because the carbons that you're creating are probably increasing what your body is storing as body fat. So I want you to look at your inflammation and then look at sugars and start to find out, like the things that I use instead of sugar is maple syrup or even local organic honey, and reducing the amount you need. And once you change eating some of the things that you eat, that your taste buds begin to change and you start to feel so much better. Brain fog goes and your cognitive ability is just so much better. So chronic stress is a huge factor in not being able to lose weight. You're overstimulating the limbic system, which is your fear, flight and fright, and your immune system is becoming overactive, and a rapid production of hormones which impact the body's ability to really understand and work out what's happening with your hunger. And the ghrelin and the I've forgotten the name of the other hormone, but they're all impacted by an overreactive stimulation of stress. So we need to get into that vagus nerve and start working into the parasympathetic system as opposed to the sympathetic system. So that's your rest and digest. And when you get enough relaxation as well as the let's go, 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 your body's ability to burn fat is amazing. You can really feel the difference and see the difference. Glycemic variation is something that we need to look at, what's happening throughout the day. You can get a blood sugar monitor and measure where your sugars are, because it is the blood glucose variation, and if it gets out of control, the body does one or two things: transfers sugars into the muscles or stores as body fat, and it will become fat tissues. And if you're not active throughout the day, you're unable to lose weight. So you need to be ruthlessly aware of your blood sugar fluctuations. Strategies to control your glycemic variation are strength training before breakfast, intermittent fasting, cardio, and you can change your life even more by, after your meal at night, going for a nice stroll. It doesn't have to be a fast walk. 20 minutes, get out there and move. And there are sources of other ways that you can balance your glycemic variation with move more and eat less processed foods and eat more fibre. There are ways that you can control your blood sugar fluctuations throughout the day with some plant herbs. Ceylon Ceylon cinnamon, berberine, apple cider vinegar are things that you can add to your daily routine to help balance out the glycemic variation. And as I said, you can monitor your blood sugar with a blood sugar monitor. Standing 180 minutes rather than sitting after lunch reduced your spike by 40%. And alternating between sitting and standing throughout the day has a beautiful impact on that glycemic variation. So look at those really simple, easy ways that you can start to help your body become an efficient fat burner. Cortisol and stress. Cortisol is your fear, flight and fright hormone. This is number 5. It will suppress insulin secretion and your blood pressure increases. You've got a looming deadline that can be important for that, but chronic stress directly causes insulin resistance, and your heart rate variability is being affected directly. Daily stresses like work or family also include excessive exercise, and emotional stress will all directly be impacted. Measuring your heart rate variation with a Garmin, a Fitbit, or a Ring are all brilliant ways that you can become educated in what's happening with your heart rate variation, because it's very important to have that fluctuation happening in your body if you want to become an efficient fat burner. Number 6, sleep deprivation. A single night of sleep deprivation can be really impacting on your body's ability to be unable to reduce body fat. Your neuroendocrine is affected, and it reduces your levels of leptin. This was the other hormone I was trying to think of earlier, and increases your level of ghrelin, which impact on how hungry you feel throughout the day, and you make poor choices when you're sleep deprived, and it will not allow you to walk past the box of chocolates that's sitting on your desk from those charities, or any of those triggers that make you want to eat the things that are a quick fix because you're feeling really hungry. It impacts on your hormone responses and makes it very difficult. So number 7 reason that you're not burning fat the way that you would like to is snacking. It's really, really easy to eat food these days. There's food available absolutely everywhere, and we are eating when we don't need to eat. We're not hungry, and it's not necessarily foods that are nutritious or healthy foods. It's foods that are sitting there looking at us, or we're looking at it. Like for me, when I first started working from home, my fridge was there, and it was a real little demon. Too easy to walk past the fridge, open it and go, even though I wasn't hungry. And eating straight after a workout, these are all carbons in and not necessarily carbons out. Number 9 is grazing. We were all taught to, instead of having your 3 meals a day, that you can snack all day and then you're burning it off. But it's a bit of a myth, because snacking increases your glycemic variation huge and eliminates the benefits of a fast. And fasting is very good for teaching your body to utilize and get rid of those carbons. Food for thought, would you not think? Grazing throws your metabolism into sugar burning mode, and it takes 3 to 4 weeks of extreme calorie restriction for your body to down-regulate metabolism. Eat less often and combine with regular activity. Number 9, not moving enough. We all know this. Your metabolic activity is to burn fat by moving more and excreting those carbons. However, number 10 can be too much exercise. Excessive exercise, along with other stresses, can lead to increased levels of cortisol and inflammation, which we know inflammation is going to impact on those neurotransmitters which help your body burn fat. And also you can run into some health issues, too much exercise, too hard, and not enough easy days. So balance out your easy days with your too hard days. Number 11, believe it or not, chronic cardio. Your body will catabolize muscle and learns how to store fat for energy, because you get very good at storing fat. If you're having trouble losing weight, you're spending a lot of time on the cardio machines in the gym, and all of this high intensity, your body starts to shut down and go, no, I need to store this because we're going to have to keep doing all of this cardio on a regular basis. So have a look at what you're doing with your cardio. You really need to balance out some lower intensity with your higher intensity. And if you really like your cardio, your HIIT cardio, where you're doing high intensity for shorter periods of time rather than hours of running or hours of sitting on a bike. This is only if you're having trouble, you're doing your exercise and you're eating well, but the scales aren't shifting. All of the above that I've talked about is because of that. Sure, people are cycling and doing marathons and losing weight. This is all about people who are struggling. Number 12, the final one, is food allergies and intolerance. Your cells go into danger response. It's a good idea to get a food allergy test. You can have these blood tests done and finding out if there's a problem. There are a lot of reasons your body may start to shut down. It's if you're doing all of the things, the moving, the eating well, and the scales are not moving. These are my 12 reasons as to why that's happening for you. If you've got any comments, please send them to me. I hope you enjoyed this information, and I hope it can open up some doors for you as to why things are going the way they are, and you can turn them around. I'm here to help anytime. Deirdre Waterson from Ignite Yourself, signing off for today, and we'll talk soon. Bye.